Hi, I'm Christy McGee, and I'm showing you today how to make a DIY toothpaste that cares for your teeth but also helps to whiten them. What we're going to be using is organic coconut oil, and I'm using Dr. Bronner's. You can get this at a natural food store. I have found it in Kroger in the natural section. You can find it in multiple different places. I'm also going to be using bentonite clay. This is just the brand that I found in my natural food store. I know there are other brands available, so you can look for it at a natural food store. Also, you can get it on Amazon or a place like that. You're going to be needing activated charcoal. This stuff gets everywhere. It is a very fine powder. You can find it in bulk at some places, like a natural food store. That's where I got mine. If you can't find it in bulk, you could also buy it in capsule form, and you could find that, I believe, even in Walmart. It would be in the supplement section, and it would be called activated charcoal. So you will need that, and you'll just have to break open your capsules if you go that form. You also need either pink Himalayan salt, or you can use sea salt. This is going to be used for our mineral in our toothpaste. You're going to need filtered water, and then I'm using thieves and peppermint, young living oils. You can use other flavors if you desire. The reason why I'm using these, I'll let you know as we're using them, but if you want a different flavor, like for example for your children, if they don't like a peppermint taste, you could use orange or some other fruity flavor that might appeal to their palate a little bit more. So I am going to start off with a glass bowl. It's sealable, and so I will be using this to kind of mix my ingredients in. I already have my peppermint oil in here, and the reason why is because I ran out, and so I had to extract every last drop from my bottle. And so there are 5 drops of peppermint in here. I'm also going to put 5 drops of thieves oil. Now, the peppermint is for bad breath, and the thieves, hold on one second, 1, 2. The thieves will be used to help fight infection, gum disease, gingivitis, also pain, and if you are forming cavities, it's supposed to help with that as well according to my reference guide. And so I use 5 drops of peppermint and 5 drops of thieves in my glass container. And the reason why I'm using glass, you're going to want either glass or a metal container. Also, same thing with your tools that you're using, because not only are our oils potent, as you know, but the bentonite clay as well as the activated charcoal draws out toxins, and I don't want plastic as my container because I don't want it to draw out any toxins that might be in my plastic. So I'm going to be using this glass as well as a metal bowl for mixing. I'm going to go ahead and add to my oils a tablespoon of my organic coconut oil. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of mix those together. So just as if you were putting your oils into a carrier oil, you just want to make sure that gets combined. I'm then going to go ahead and switch to my powdered substances. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to a different bowl just so it's easier to kind of mix those along and then add it together. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of my bentonite clay. And since I just used my tablespoon, I'm going to actually use my teaspoon. So if you see me scooping extra, that's why. So 3 teaspoons equals 1 tablespoon. So I'm going to do 6 of these. 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 teaspoons of bentonite clay or 2 tablespoons. I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of my activated charcoal. Now, remember I said that this can be found in a capsule form, so if you need to just break open the capsules, they'll just pull right on apart. Now, this activated charcoal, you're going to use, even though it's jet black, this is what whitens your teeth. I actually have just used activated charcoal by itself to whiten my teeth, that and, you know, a wet toothbrush. And it does a wonderful, wonderful job. Just prepare for your mouth to turn black. But once you rinse it off really well, you get the blackness out of there. And then I'm going to use 1/4 of a teaspoon of the Himalayan salt. And I have it ground up right here. So this is what you're looking at right now. Now that sea salt's going to add the minerals into your toothpaste. It will give it a slightly salty taste, but your oils will help to cover that, as well as if you would like to add a sweetener to your toothpaste, you can. You can add some stevia, a liquid form or a powder form, or xylitol. Both would be a good natural sweetener for your toothpaste. I'm not going to use it in this recipe just because we're accustomed to using straight up activated charcoal. We're not accustomed to having the sweetness in it, but especially if you're using this toothpaste in place of a normal sweet toothpaste, you and your children might prefer a little bit of a sweeter taste. So I have my powder mixed up. I have my coconut oil, my carrier oil basically, with my oils, and I'm going to mix them together. Like I said, that powder is very fine with the charcoal. And so just be careful when you're doing so. I was not, so I got a face full of dust. I'm going to mix these together. And then once you kind of combine it together, it will kind of look like if you're baking biscuits with the little pieces in your kind of dough. As you can see, it's not really a creaminess. So then that's where your filtered water comes in. You're going to add your filtered water to your mixture just enough so that it becomes whatever desired consistency you would like. If you want it really thick, you just need a little bit. If you want it more of a, I guess, closer to a liquid form, you can do that as well. I just added, I'll go ahead and add about a tablespoon to see how thick that becomes. Now, as you can see, it's getting very moist. It's almost the consistency that you would roll dough with. And I'm just going to kind of combine that a little bit more. Now, something that I do want to let you know about with the activated charcoal, considering it is jet black, when this does get into your sink, it might color your sink a tad bit, and it's okay. It comes right off. If it's sticking to your sink, just use one of your normal cleaners. Your thieves cleaner would work. Your vinegar cleaner, if that's what you use in your house. Whatever you use, it should come off pretty easily. It just might take a little bit of elbow grease if you have some soap scum in there, which is what I have found. All right, so this is about a tablespoon of water added in there. I'm going to make mine a little bit more pasty. I'm just going to go ahead and add 2 whole tablespoons of water, because I know that once I get it on my toothbrush, I basically just need it to stick to my toothbrush in order to be able to use it. Now, I have seen some people put this in a squeezable container, but like I said before, that's bentonite clay and also the activated charcoal is going to pull out toxins. And so I don't know how you feel about putting it in plastic, but I just prefer not to put anything that would draw out any toxins, or something like our citrus. We don't put that in plastic either, just because they're so potent, and I don't want plastic chemicals leaking into my body. So about 2 tablespoons gave me a nice little paste. I'll show you. Give me a nice little paste, and that's probably what I'm going to stop at, just because when you're putting it on your toothbrush, you want it to kind of stay and not float off. You could probably put a little bit more water in here. It depends what you would like. And so what I'm going to end up doing is just using or keeping a knife or some sort of material, some sort of device near this, and I'll just scoop a little bit off and just put it on my toothbrush. I know that some people, when they make a homemade toothpaste, like to just dip their toothbrush. That's up to you. I prefer not to dip my toothbrush into the whole mixture with bacteria or anything like that. So I hope this video helps you make your own toothpaste, and I hope it works for you. Thanks so much.